That's where I talk about like the importance of your resume, because once your resume is on point. Hey guys, it's Noreen and thank you for making it to my channel. So this video is for the Psych NPs. We have a lot of catching up to do. Like, I don't even know where I should start. Like, I don't know if you guys want to know about my patients, how I go about that, or I don't know if I should talk about like the field right now, or I don't know. Oh, I had an interview, so I don't know. I guess we'll just. Okay, so first I'll do a video on the interview. So I did have like 3 interviews, right? I had like 3 interviews in like a week and a half. It was crazy. So that's where I talk about like the importance of your resume, because once your resume is on point, I've only been seeing my own patients for like 4, 5, 6, maybe 4 or 5 months. And the fact that I'm getting the interviews is like crazy. But, so the interview I have, they asked like about my background, of course, how long I've been doing this. So I told them basically I'm a new grad. So like one of the most important questions that they asked was like, walk me through a situation. So most of the questions I would say in interviews, they're asking about your personality, like, or they're like basically kind of telling you what the company does and how they work and all that stuff. So yeah, but one of the most important questions I would say was she asked me to like basically walk her through a scenario. Like if I had a patient who they said like basically they had anxiety, depression, or maybe ADHD, how would I differentiate that? So first off, before you see your patients, they're usually doing like the assessment, right? They're doing PHQ-9 GAD-7, or if you have the ADHD one, you could do an ADHD one. So that's the first one we'd start out. But then I told her I would basically, assess the patient, see if they have any sleep issues, because usually sleep can lead to anxiety. I would assess to see if they have any issues of depression, because also the thing is some people think they have ADHD because they can't focus or whatever, but they really just have anxiety. And so the other thing is too, you want to ask have they have this attention situation? Have they had trouble with like attention since they were younger? Usually if it started when they were younger, then they may really have ADHD. But if it's like a new thing that just happened, it might be like it's not ADHD, right? So like that's one of the things. And then you also want to rule out like any thyroid disorders, any substance use, anything like that. I really forgot what else I said, but I know I gave a really good answer, right? Because I actually ended up getting a job offer from them. So that was like one of the most important questions, was like basically that scenario situation. And then like I thought she was gonna ask me like what medications would I use. The most popular I would say is definitely Lexapro, escitalopram. That is like the most popular for the people with the anxiety, depression. And then also too, you would do, if they have like a crazy situational anxiety, you can also throw some hydroxyzine in there, PRN, because hydroxyzine works quicker, and then the Lexapro takes time to build up. So I'm trying to think, I really can't even remember like the questions were, it was really more like her telling me about the company, but that was like a really good question. I feel like it's probably going to be a common question in other interviews, so that's just something to think about. But most of the time they like ask you like, what would you do in a situation with a stressed out patient, or what would you do in these type of situations? So I feel like a lot of the interview questions are situational, so that's just something to think about. But I was a little iffy about this job because they told me that it was like you had to come in, they wanted you to come in once a week. And I have a full-time job, and this is like a 1099 job, so I'm not gonna quit my full-time job for a 1099 job. So I was like a little iffy about that, but she said that they are flexible, so that is good. So I want to follow up on that. I did have another interview with another company. It was like they said they do like a lot of veterans, right? Oh, another thing is a lot of these companies I've been interviewing for, they don't do controlled 2 substances, which is music to my ear because I'm not trying to do that anyways. So yeah, then the other company, they don't do control 2s. Well, it's a VA thing. It's like low acuity, which is good if you're starting out, right? And so So that was another one. That interview was more so them just telling me about the company. So that one was pretty cool. And then that one, they reached out to me asking for references. I haven't followed up yet because they want references that are actually Psych NPs, and I don't really have references for that. I have nurse references, but not like Psych NP references, and that's like as a new grad, like you really expect me to have that? And then I haven't even talked to my preceptors in a long time, so I don't even know if I want to reach out to them. But I don't know, I'll figure that out, right? And then another company, it's another 1099 part-time, I think it's 1099 job, but this one's like more focused on women's health, which I thought was very interesting, which is like I'm actually very interested in. And yeah, so first they were asking me if I would be available 2 to 3 days a week, because when I see 1099 part-time, I'm thinking you want me to just work a couple hours in the evening, not you want me to give you a whole full day. Like, and it's like, okay, well, I'm okay with giving you a whole full day, but like, is this guaranteed pay? Like, are you gonna guarantee I'm gonna have a legit caseload of patients? You know what I mean? Because I can't be trying to wing things. Like, I gave those days up, okay? I need some stability, right? So, but with the job offer, they did say they're okay with starting with 1 to 2 days. I can do 1 day, right? I can try to juggle 1 day, right? So I definitely want to take that job offer, and then I just want to see if maybe I can build up my caseload with these positions, and then that way I can phase out of my other full-time job. Like, that's what I would want to do. And like the other thing too is I feel like with my Headway and my Alma, like I have a pretty good I feel like I have a pretty good caseload, and that's just me with a minimum availability, like 4 to 5, probably 4 to 7 after work on the weekdays, and then like a few hours in the morning on the weekends. And I feel like I have a pretty good caseload, so I'm curious to see like what it would look like if I opened up my caseload, like opened up my availability more. But then I'm just like, I'm not trying to like overwork myself, so it's just like something I'm like kind of trying to figure out exactly how to transition like from my current career to full-time Psych NP. It would be nice if I can get a full-time position, but it just seems so hard, you know, as a new grad, because they want people with experience. But then it's like, okay, well then if I do these 1099s, then I should be able to land a full-time. At least you would think that, right? So it's like, I feel like I should definitely try to push myself to kind of get more stable with the 1099. I do feel like with the opportunities I have, I can, but then I don't know, like because I just honestly, I really like the stability like of a W-2, benefits and all that stuff. So if I can figure that out, I mean, I'm pretty sure there's something in the Psych NP community on how they get through with that, get around that. But I just need the stability though, because I can't be taking no like, oh, we're going on a drought, no patients, I got no money coming in. Like, I can't do that. Like, I need to know I got money coming in, you know what I mean? So that's my current situation with that. I need to respond to these offer letters. I have not responded to them, which is horrible, right? And then like I had to slow down with applying because like I was getting the interviews back to back, and it was becoming a lot. Like, I'm trying to juggle my full-time job, trying to transition to Psych NP. Like, it was just a lot, but I'm very grateful. And so I'm on Alma and Headway. I don't even know how many patients I have in total, but one thing I will say is I have more patients on Headway than Alma. So if you had to choose one or the other, I would recommend Headway because I have more patients on Headway. The only thing is, so Alma, you do have to pay a monthly fee, which is like $130, but you honestly make that after seeing one patient a month, right? So like that pays for itself, but it's just like, and then you can also move your patients over if you're able to, like to a different platform if you're credentialed, right, by their insurance. So that's also an option. But if you have to pick one or the other, I would say Headway. The only thing is with, the only thing is with Headway, you do have to have your DEA, which is $888. But I can tell you, once you have a decent caseload, like I'm talking like maybe 5, 6, 7 patients, you're gonna make that money back. in like 2 weeks, if not less, right? So I definitely think going Headway is a great way to go. And then the other thing is too, like once you start seeing these patients, like you can put that on your resume, like as you're already seeing your patients, because you are, right? And so then when people are looking at your resume, you're not looking like a new grad no more. You're looking like somebody who's been running their practice, who has some experience. Like you're not looking like somebody that they have to like basically train from scratch. So like that's another good thing why I would recommend doing Alma or Headway, because it will help you for sure. Like I feel much more confident as a provider now than when I started in January. Like there's just so much you can learn in such a short amount of time that I feel like when I do start like a full-time position or start taking on more patients, I'm going to be a lot more comfortable than I would have if I didn't like start my own thing on my own, right? So like that's like another thing I would say, because though it's slow, you're going at your own pace. You're able to control your availability and when you're seeing these patients. So like that's like another thing too. And then you're starting to learn about how different patients react with certain medications, what medications work. You're starting to learn what medications you want to start your patients on when they come with anxiety and depression and things like that. So like it becomes better the more you do it. So that's why I definitely recommend joining Alma or Headway or starting those things. The other thing is there's also Talkspace. I actually need to do onboarding for them. It's like another one like Alma and Headway, but one thing I like about Talkspace is that they tell you like they will get you your clients. Like Headway tells you straight up, we're not a marketing platform. You need to bring your own clients, and if clients find you off of Headway, great. But Talkspace was like, we got you pretty much. So I thought that was nice. I just need to do the onboarding with them, which I haven't been able to do because I've been so busy. The other thing is, I don't know. I'm like trying to like see everything I can tell you guys. And then I'm gonna like do another video basically kind of like talking about like some of my patients and things like that, and then kind of going over like billing, like how I do the billing and the coding, because after you see your patients you have to bill the insurance. And so like learning about the codes like 90792. So 90792 is the intake. You're going to be using that one a lot. 99213 is a very quick, short, brief meta follow-up. If they're saying their Lexapro is working, great, boom, like 15-20 minutes gonna be 99213. If it's a little bit more complex, you're looking at 99214. That's another med refill follow-up type of thing. Then you got your psychotherapies, right? Then that's when you're gonna get into your 9037. Is it 90937? Something like this. I can't think off the top of my head. But when I do my billing, I will do that with you guys so you guys can see what it's like. And then I'll also tell you like about what I learned with my patients and things like that. But I just wanted to come on here and give you guys a brief update of what's going on. So if you guys have any questions, feel free to leave them in the comments. I will try to get back to them as soon as possible. I want to say thank you. I appreciate every single one of you who have been here on this journey with me, who are new, who are learning. I hope I'm helping you. I hope I'm guiding you. I hope I'm doing whatever it is, like whatever help you need, I can help be that for you. And then if you guys have any questions, you could book a one-on-one with me. If you want to revamp your resume, you can also book that as well. I also have resources, free resources, so you can go ahead and check that down in the description down below. And I want to say thank you guys for watching.